Raider Nation, go give Andre James a follow on Instagram at AndreJames77. I appreciate that he took time out of his day to come support an awesome charity event, and even though he rooted against me, give him a follow on IG at AndreJames77. The Raiders Report is presented by Panda Subs, and if you're looking to get in the best shape of your life this offseason, guess what? Go to chatsports.com/Mitch, because if you use code Mitch, you're going to save up to $70 on this awesome stack right here. I'll tell you about it in a little bit coming up here after the interview, but you get all this stuff, which is actually $168 value. You can save $70 on it by going to chatsports.com/Mitch, and hopefully you can remember the promo code. It's literally Mitch. So coming up here, y'all, I asked Raiders center Andre James 5 questions. The third question, I think you guys are going to get a good kick out of it, at least. I was thinking about leaving him on the hook for a little bit longer. You'll see what it's about, but coming up right now, an interview with Raiders center Andre James. Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, and we're live here at Barcode Burger in Las Vegas. I'm here with Raiders center Andre James. I got 5 questions for y'all. My first one for Andre. Are you going to be the starting center for the Raiders week 1 of the NFL season?
As it's going right now, I'm planning yes.
Short, sweet, all right, it's all good. So, Tom Cable, I'm going to be honest, I wasn't the biggest fan of him. But with new offensive line coach Carmen Bricillo, I've been studying him a lot. I like what he brings. What do you like that he's bringing to the Raiders offensive line this year?
No, he's a really detailed guy. So, I mean, everything that we do, he really breaks it down and looks at the smallest amount of technique issues that we might have, and he's just really detailed. So we really appreciate that.
A lot of detail. Okay. So, my next question, body count.
What kind of body count?
Like the body count in here. How many people do you think are in here right now?
Ooh. I'd say about 80 people, 85 people. So I'll say 100. I'll say 100 just to be
100 people in here? What'd you think the body count meant?
The what?
What'd you think originally when I said?
I was thinking of something else. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's good. So one of my biggest talking points this offseason is trying to figure out the offensive line for the Raiders, just like it was last season. I believe Kolton Miller is going to be the starting left tackle. Besides that, if you had to predict right now, left guard, center, right guard, right tackle, from what you know, from what you've seen, what's the starting offensive line for the Raiders?
Right now, it's really hard to call. We have a lot of guys competing for different positions. It's going to be tough. You know what I mean? We got a lot of young, talented players, and we got a lot of guys coming back, and a lot of new faces too. So honestly, it's up in the air for a lot of people, including myself. And I think any job's open to the position. Just, who's really going to want it to get in there week 1.
So on my show, Raider fans, they're wild, they're crazy. We do beer boots, we do shots of Fireball. If you had to pick one, and I'm going to leave this up to you because in some of my shows, I'm hard on the offensive line. You're a big guy. You guys don't get any love, right? Mm-hmm. Would you rather do 3 shots of Fireball or do a beer boot? So a beer boot is like the thing out of the Beer League movie where it's 3 beers filled up in one. What would you rather do?
I would have to do the beer boot.
All right, we're actually going to go get a beer boot right now.
Whoa!
No, I'm kidding. So this is what I'm going to do. The next time I do a Raiders show, I'm going to do a beer boot, and I'm going to do it in honor of you.
Oh, thank you.
I'm going to post it on social media. If you want to share it, it's totally up to you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you for coming out.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you.
Major shout out to Andre for taking time out of his day and having a good time to answer all of those questions here. So show Andre some love, like the video, and remember, I'm going to show Johnathan, Kendall, Kolton Miller, and Andre all of these videos, and whatever video gets the most likes is going to be a lot of bragging rights. So coming up here on today's show, I'm going to be projecting the Raiders' offensive line with Andre James as the starting center, because one of the biggest conversations this entire offseason has been, who's going to be the starting line, right? We got Devontae Adams. You got all these other amazing new pieces to this offense. But if you can't block for DC, does it actually matter? To see even more interviews here on the Raiders Report, hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications. Not only do I go live at least once a week, every single Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific, I talk about news and rumors. We also have player interviews. So if you missed the Johnathan Hankins, Kolton Miller, Kendall Vickers interview, go check it out. It's on the channel, youtube.com/Raiders Report. So let's look at the Raiders offensive line. And
yes, this is a depth chart graphic, but just keep in mind the amount of moving around that has happened already from OTAs and mandatory minicamp. Players are moving all over the place. Kolton Miller is probably the only spot that I would say is locked and loaded, which, you know what? We're just going to start there. Raiders offensive line projection. Kolton Miller is going to be the starting left tackle for the Silver and Black. Lock it in, no doubt about it. At left guard, you have Denzelle Good. Now, he has been battling an injury. He's still recovering from his ACL injury all the way back in week 1. I have been told he's about 99% of the way healthy. They're taking his time with him. They know he's a good player. So when you talk about the left guard battle, though, I do think that this can go a variety of different ways because, again, Kolton Miller is the only player locked and loaded as the left tackle, which even Andre said there's a lot of competition. So when I think of the left guard battle, I think of Denzelle Good, Dylan Parham, the Raiders rookie who they drafted at number 90 overall in the 3rd round, John Simpson, Jermaine Illuminor, Lester Cotton is another name to keep in mind. The dude that I want to just go a little bit more in terms of analysis on is John Simpson. He was drafted in round 4 out of Clemson back in 2020. Right now, he's been getting the starting reps at left guard, and he started 17 games last season. The reason why he's getting those starting reps right now is simply because they want Dylan Parham to be working at different spots, and on top of that, Denzel's been banged up. I also know that John Simpson is arguably the strongest offensive lineman on the team right now. And if you're trying to get stronger as well, remember, Panda Subs is going to hook you guys up here. So go to chatsports.com/Mitch where you can get the BCAs to recover. Let's just hypothetically speaking, you're in Las Vegas, it's 115 degrees out. You need to stay hydrated. The greens, I take a scoop of greens every morning just to get the metabolism running, and I understand that eating healthy and eating your vegetables is a difficult thing to do. If you're trying to crush a workout, pre-workout, and you get a Panda shaker, all of this stuff is a value of $168. If you use promo code Mitch at chatsports.com/Mitch, you can save $70. That link, don't worry, available for y'all in the comments and in the description of today's video. The reason why we're making the video is because we interviewed Andre James, and the whole show is around the Raiders' projected starting lineup with him at center. So we got Andre at center. However, he is going to be battling it out with Dylan Parham at 6'3", 311 pounds out of Memphis. I believe that the Raiders really, really like Parham as a center, and if Parham doesn't beat James outright, you then could see him go up in a different direction. But for this Raiders team, Josh McDaniels has said they are going to go with the 5 best offensive linemen, and I believe that Andre is in that top 5. So we did this whole charity event here. I was able to interview the players thanks to Johnathan Hankins. Shout out to Barcode Burgers, Timmy Hanlon. Appreciate everyone that came across and supported the show. But I want you to support Big Time Hank. He's 30 years old. He's preparing for life after football, which I respect the hell out of. We're trying to get him to 1,500 subscribers over on YouTube. And hell, why not even? Let's try to get to 2,000. So go subscribe to his channel, youtube.com/Big Time Hank. Let's go to the right guard position here. You got Miller, Good, Andre James, the starting right guard. If Andre is going to be the starting center, is going to be Raiders rookie Dylan Parham. I love this kid. He is a versatile offensive lineman. You can see that he's a sponge. You can see that he soaks up the assignments very easily. He's going to learn a lot from Carmen Bricillo. And in terms of what's the right guard battle, I would say Alex Leatherwood's up there for the competition. You could even see Denzelle Good if he loses out at left guard. Jermaine Illuminor is the player the Raiders brought back. And then the guy getting a lot of first-team reps early on in mandatory minicamp was Lester Cotton. If you want to talk about one of the biggest winners, Lester has to be on that list. Let's now look at the right tackle spot because this is one of the ones where I'm like, you know what, a lot of controversy around here. I'm going to give the nod to Alex Leatherwood because the Raiders want Leatherwood to be the right tackle. I was told by a player that that's what they are looking to do. I'll say that. So the fact that that's what they want to happen, I believe that's what they're going to try to make happen. It does make me a little bit nervous putting Leatherwood out there at right tackle yet again. But maybe a year with Carmen Bricillo instead of Tom Cable, he's able to take that next step. In terms of who else is going to be competing with it, I would say Brandon Parker, but I would like Brandon Parker to be the backup swing tackle behind Kolton Miller and behind Alex Leatherwood. So do it right now, y'all. I want you to comment below what you believe
the starting offensive line is going to be for the Raiders week 1. I did this video based on the idea of Andre James starting at center, which there's absolutely a chance of that happening. So, with Andre starting at center, here's my Raiders offensive line projection. Kolton Miller at left tackle, Denzelle Good at left guard, Andre James at center, Dylan Parham at right guard, and Leatherwood at right tackle. What I want you to do, since you made it this far in the video, y'all are real ones out there, scale this Raiders O-line from 0 to 100. 0 being you have no confidence whatsoever. 100, it's the best offensive line in the NFL.